everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to plant potatoes, and we started our own potato seed this year, and I'm quite surprised at how big of a root system they have already, and I think you're going to be quite surprised too. So we'll show you what our potatoes look like, and then I will show you two different ways to plant them in the ground. Take a look at how big the eyes on these potatoes are. That is red Pontiac, and then this box here is Kennebec. We are going to plant these whole because I do not want to disrupt the root system that is already taking place with these. And guys, it looks like they have done a good job on their own. They're starting to actually sprout here at the end, and they're not even in the dirt yet. So I think we have, I'm hoping, some good quality potato seed. And these are just leftover potatoes that we grew from last year. And behind them, I did buy a different brand this year for us. I got Adirondack Blue. And I'll show you how we're going to plant these. We're going to cut these ones up and plant these ones cut. And these ones, the red Pontiac and the Kennebec, we're going to plant as a whole potato. Half of our garden has been tilled. The other half has ryegrass planted in it. And that is just to give that soil a little bit extra nitrogen until I'm ready to plant our tomatoes. So we did till yesterday, and our weather has been good for the most part here for the last 2 days to dry everything out. So we are good and ready to plant. To make my rows straight, I don't use anything special. I grab a couple sticks off of some of the trees that have fallen down and some twine. I tie the twine to one stick, stretch it out clear to the other end of the garden, and tie it off onto the other. And then I will hoe right down that line, plant my potatoes, and move my sticks to the next row. When you cut potatoes to plant them, this whole bucket has been cut. You don't need to see me cut potatoes. What you want to do is cut around these little areas right here. This is what is going to create your plant. And I'm sorry, my hands are filthy. It just is what it is. So each potato, cut out each section that has this sprout right here. And these are your potato eyes, okay? And that's what is going to form your plant. So you can see each one that I have cut has a sprout on it. And then you're just going to plant these with the sprout facing up in your row. Like that. I don't know if you can see my row that I have trenched out. I used really dark nylon string to make my row. But I have it stretched completely out, and I'm going to take my potatoes just like this, and then we are going to put them right like that in our rows. So this is how you do it whenever you cut potatoes. You just lay them in with the seed part facing up. Now, a little bit of advice: whenever you use a hoe to trench out your rows, make sure you wear gloves. It will prevent you from getting blisters. And also, working outside, make sure you have sunscreen and wear a hat to keep you from getting skin cancer. Your cut potatoes will make a row like this. And then I had some extra room at the end. Now, when you lay your whole potatoes out, your eyes probably are not going to be like this. But just lay them out and then just cover everything over with dirt. This is kind of fun. I was out looking through the ryegrass to try and show you an example of what a potato looks like, to see if we had any volunteers that came up from last year. And I found this guy here. He is a turnip. And we're just going to pull him out. Look at that guy. It's beautiful. So before you start tilling in your garden, go through it really good and see what you have that's already coming up, because I can see I have some herbs. I've got cilantro and I've got some chives coming up in here too. So I'm going to dig those up and transplant those before we go ahead and till the rest of this garden up. We ended up with 4 rows of potatoes. Once you have them all laid in the trench, you're going to want to take your hoe and cover each one over with dirt. Make sure to mark your rows really well. And once they start coming up, I usually put worm castings on to fertilize for the first time. And then you're going to hill your potatoes up with whatever you choose. Extra dirt, mulch, hay, whatever you want. But as the plant grows, you need to hill your potatoes so that what is growing doesn't see the sunlight. And this should yield us a couple 100 pounds of potatoes this year. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Don't be afraid to plant potatoes. If you do not have a garden, you can always plant potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket, and they will work just fine that way, and they'll grow just as good. So stay tuned, and I'll show you once they start to sprout what they look like. Have a great day.